So let's stay on James Gunn.
Pause.
If you saw Peacemaker, and I won't spoil it if you have not, but if you saw Peacemaker season two finale, it alludes to a major well, not major, but it alludes to an event that ran in the DC comic books. It has its own series. Um, has its own series running in DC comic books. And James Gunn said that the finale and what happens will have a direct impact on the future of the DCU and his plans. So, what was shown in the finale has some major implications. But based on this news, it looks like we might be seeing that crossover event on screen. Let's take a look. All right, this is coming from superherohype.com. It says James Gunn's DCU may be adapting, spoiler alert, for first big crossover movie. So I'll warn you before we get to spoilers. So the first big DCU crossover movie may have been revealed in a new copyright trademark filing. James Gunn and Peter Safran's DCU officially began in December 2024 with the animated Creature Commando series. That was followed by Gunn's Superman movie, which was released in July 2025, and Peacemaker Season 2, which concluded on HBO Max earlier this month. What could the DCU crossover movie be? Well, according to Night Edge Media, DC Studios recently registered a copyright trademark for Salvation Run. Pause, spoilers if you don't want to know what happens in Peacemaker Season 2. Fast forward this, see me in the next video. All right. While this is far from confirmation that a Salvation Run crossover movie is coming, it's certainly possible, especially given the ending of Peacemaker Season 2. So, Peacemaker Season 2 ended with John Cena's Christopher Smith being kidnapped and then forcefully thrown into another planet known as Salvation, that Frank Grillo's Rick Flag singer intend to use as a prison for metahumans. In DC Comics, Salvation Run is a 7-issue miniseries from writers Bill Willingham and Lila Strugis, and artists Sean Chen and Walden Wong, Joe Pennant, and Bellardino Bravo that follows a similar storyline. Salvation Run sees some of the most notorious DC supervillains exiled to planet Cygnus 4019 and forced to find new ways to survive. Now, Gunn and Safran clearly have plans to continue the Salvation storyline teased at the end of Peacemaker Season 2. Although the copyright filing could just be the studio making sure their bases are covered, the storyline may continue in other DCU movies or television shows, such as Man of Tomorrow, without ever culminating in a crossover film. While Night Edge Media also mentions that the trademark filing is for the Bane Deathstroke movie that's already in development. The DCU's overall plan will likely become much clearer in 2026 with the release of Lantern's HBO television show, Greg Giuseppe's Supergirl movie, and Jane Watkins' Clayface film. At this time, there has been no official announcement regarding a Salvation Run crossover movie from DC Studios or Warner Brothers Pictures. Have you ever been annoyed by your coworkers? Do you have a spouse that constantly wants to argue and scream and yell about every single thing? What about that one friend that, despite your many efforts to explain your side, they just don't seem to get it and instead want to complain about everything? Does it make you just want to scream out loud? How about telling them to shut the up? I'm just saying. So is this major news? Maybe. I personally don't think that they could do a Salvation Run yet because they really haven't announced or we haven't seen a lot uh of the bad guys in the DC universe. Um but they could do their version of it. I don't know what that would mean. and also Salvation Run has some dark side implications as well. So there's a lot tied to that storyline that makes me think that they may have just copywritten the name so that when they do decide to do something, they have it and it's theirs, is what I personally think. I don't think that this is something that they plan on doing anytime soon. I don't even think they can do this anytime soon. Um, and it also said that the trademark is for the Bane and Deathstroke movie that's in the works. So maybe it's tied to that, and maybe Bane and Deathstroke will somehow end up on uh Salvation Salvation, and that's why they needed to trademark the name. I don't know. I didn't read the comic book run, so but I do know the story and I know some of the ties that it has to it. So because of that, I don't think that they could do the like a Salvation type film right now, but it makes sense for them to lock it up so that they have it. But I don't know. What do you all think? Have you read the comic books? Um, did you see Peacemaker season 2 finale? What did you think about the introduction of Salvation? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. Do me a favor. If you like the content, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe. And hit that little alarm button as well so you can get alerted whenever I post new content. And also, do me a favor, share with other people who you think would like this content as well. We have a big goal of 1,000 subscribers we're trying to get to, and we need your help. Appreciate it. Till the next one. Peace.